When you're building out a go-to-market strategy for your SaaS business, for your software product, it can be really daunting because of all the different ways you can get attention online. Well, it turns out if you really look at it, there's essentially 6 key ways that you can drive growth for your SaaS business. Here's the problem though, when you're starting out, you kind of do a little bit of everything because you don't know what to focus on. That's the lack of a strategy. You kind of hope that something works. Now, this is where you get overwhelmed and you end up neither here nor there. I'm gonna walk you through these 6 key ways that you can actually drive growth as part of your go-to-market strategy. And I'm gonna teach you how to prioritize them in the right way, depending on what stage you're in. This way, you can actually focus on each of them and actually drive growth and then figure out which one to double down on. And when you do this, you'll be able to accelerate the growth of your SaaS business. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, and on this channel, I help SaaS founders like you grow your SaaS businesses faster with an unstoppable strategy. If you are new to this channel, welcome. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell icon. That way you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode with the TK energy. All right, now if you're already part of my SaaS Go-To-Market coaching program, if you're part of this community already, we just hit 8,000 subscribers. Thank you for doing this with me. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. So excited to see you over here. All right, now, I remember when I was first starting out Tout App, that was my last SaaS business, I was kind of new as an engineering founder. I was new to sales and marketing. And it got really overwhelming on what do you focus on, what do you not focus on. I try to do a little bit of everything. And this is what I see a lot of founders that come to me to join my go-to-market coaching program be doing. They're like, we're doing all the things and nothing's working. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's just actually slow it down. Let's focus on the core components, take it a step at a time. Turns out, having done this for 15 years, there's really 6 key ways you can get attention online. The 6 key ways that you need to focus on, especially for a B2B SaaS business. And having done this for so long, I finally started to see the forest for the trees, and I kind of know which one to prioritize first. So in this episode, I'm going to walk you through what those 6 are, which ones to prioritize and why. And as you actually understand this, you'll be able to best prioritize your time so that you actually have a proper go-to-market strategy to actually drive growth. So if you're excited to dig in, go to smash a like button for the YouTube algorithm and let me show you how this all comes together. Okay, so first of all, of the 6 ways, right? There are 6 essential ways. I want to map them out in a conceptual way that you can understand, because it can get overwhelming if you start to think about all 6 of them, right? So the way I think about it is, first, there's a skill required, right? Out of the 6 ways to generate growth and drive growth and get attention online, it can either be easy for anyone or it can be really hard. There's a certain amount of skill required, right? At the same time, there's also something around, well, do you get quick feedback or is it slow? So when it comes to the early days of growing your go-to-market machine and growing your SaaS business, you want to get quick feedback. If it takes forever to get feedback, then you don't know if your messaging is hitting, if your ICP is right, if you're positioning it the right way. You won't know any of those things. You can waste months thinking like, okay, like give Mark Zuckerberg another $100 and we're like 1 click away, right? So you want to actually go for a quick feedback speed, and you want to make sure you start with the easy stuff first and then start to scale out. That's essentially the general principle around this. You want to start with the quick and easy, quick feedback, easy to get started, and then you want to start to work outwards. And I'm going to map out the 6 different ways of getting attention and driving growth across this vector. And what I've learned is when you actually explain it this way to founders and to marketers, they're like, okay, this makes a ton of sense. Now I know how to focus, how to validate, and I can take it a step at a time versus being ad hoc and or neither here nor there, right? So let's talk about the first one. The quickest and easiest way that you can actually, so the first one is the quickest and easiest, right? And the quickest and easiest way that you can actually generate demand and get attention is existing customers. A lot of founders forget this. Now, if you're at 0 customers, then I would say find your friends and family, find your first degree network, people that you already know that's in your ideal customer profile, and engage with them. What you want to be able to do is go to your existing customers and your existing network, right? And you want to say, hey, can you refer me to more people that would use the product? So many founders don't do this, either because they don't have enough trust in the product, or they're shy, or they're hoping that Mark Zuckerberg will give them a whole bunch of customers. But this is the easiest and it's often forgotten. The power in this is when you actually start with your existing people, there's a lot more trust built. And when it's a warm introduction, just like an investor, people are going to trust you even more when you get introduced to them, and they're more likely to give you real feedback. So the quickest and easiest way, it requires the least amount of skill, and is the quickest way, is to just go after existing customers in your existing network and just email them or call them or text them or message them, whatever it takes to say, hey, this is what we're building. We want to actually get more customers. Who do you know? And actually working through it that way. The second way, it requires a medium amount of skill, right? But it's still relatively quick, is to actually go into social and on LinkedIn, especially if you're B2B SaaS, right? Social, LinkedIn, and in some cases, Twitter works as well. And I'm gonna caveat this as I focus on B2B SaaS, so that's essentially all these 6 ways work best for B2B SaaS. So the second way is just as relatively quick in terms of feedback. If you post something on LinkedIn with your current connections, you'll see if it resonates or not. If you DM someone that's in your ICP, you'll see pretty quickly if it'll resonate or not. You'll get quick feedback on this. And it requires a little bit more skill on how to message this properly, but you can still get to it fairly quickly. And best of all, it's also cheap, right? These don't cost anything. So once you have these 2 down, this is number 1, this is number 2. The third one that comes into play is actually a little bit slower, but doesn't require as much skill even as social, right? Because there's enough stuff out there on how to do this. The third one is outbound. And this could be email, or it could be calling, whatever works for your ICP. The third way that you can actually generate demand and drive growth is essentially do outbound calling or emailing, or ideally both. And basically these all compound on each other. You start with referrals, then you go into social, and then you go into outbound. And when you go into these 3, you have 3 of the biggest ways that you can drive demand, get attention for your SaaS business, and actually drive growth. You can actually do these 3 things. And they're all relatively easy to do in terms of skill, in terms of the activities that you need to do. And the feedback speed, these 2 are very quick, and this one is a little bit slower, but still worth it because it's free. And you can actually build on these 3 things. Now, I have 3 more that round out the 6, right? Now, before I go into those 3, let me just pause here for a second. Are you starting to see the clarity in this? The clarity in this is you want to start with the quick and easy, what gives you the quickest feedback, what is easy to do, and then you want to start working outward, right? A lot of times people try to do this whole map. They do all the hard things that they have no business doing. They're doing some of the easy things, and they're here, and they're here, and then they don't know what's working and what's not. They're all over the place, right? When you do it in a structural way, when you say, let's do it quick and easy, and then go to social, and then go to outbound, what you're essentially doing is little by little expanding, and you can actually measure what's working and keep iterating, right? Measuring and iterating is the power of, is a real thing that makes a difference between the people that make it and the people that don't make it. And that's the power in this. So if you're starting to see the value in this, can I just get a yes in the comments below? Seriously, hit me with a yes. I love hearing from you guys. Ask any questions you have. Also smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It just likes it. We like it. We put a lot of love into these videos, so that it just means the world to us if you do that. Also, if you are trying to figure out how to actually implement all this, you're trying to figure out how to do get the messaging right, what your ICP is. If you want the step-by-step framework on how to implement all this stuff, I invite you to check out my SaaS Go-To-Market coaching program. I'll tell you more about it at the end of this video. Let's go to the other 3 ways. The next one is a little bit more in the difficulty side. But as you start to conquer these 3 and you know you've gotten some level of product market fit, you're starting to see the demand, you know how to position it, you know how to message it. The 4th one is over here. And this can vary in terms of feedback speed. It can be pretty quick depending on what platform you're going into. But this is the 4th one. This is platforms and marketplaces. Platforms and marketplaces are a great way to generate demand, get awareness in the market. Examples of this is the Shopify marketplace. I have a lot of founders in my program that are building in the Shopify ecosystem. Another great example is the Salesforce ecosystem. Another great example is the HubSpot ecosystem. All these ecosystems have apps that are integrated into that core platform. They get listed in the marketplace, and people that are looking for solutions to their problems are able to search, find it, see the reviews, and sign up right away, which is half the power. So you can actually, once you have your messaging right, you know how to position it, you get the right page set up over here, you can start to generate a lot of demand through number 4, platforms and marketplaces. And there's a whole art to how you position this the right way. There's a reason why this comes after these 3, because you can waste a lot of time trying to set this up and not know what's working and not, because you don't know how to message this properly and position this properly. But by the time you've done these 3, then you can start to get into this. It's a little bit harder to do, but you can do it because these have made it a lot easier for you to message it. And then you can start to get feedback pretty quickly because these platforms promote you pretty quickly as well once you have the listing set up properly. So that's number 4, platforms and marketplaces. The 5th one that you can now go into, this is one of the hardest, and I'm going to talk about why this is the hardest and why it's number 5 versus number 1. Number 5 is ads. Now, I can go in and give Mark Zuckerberg $1,000 and he will take my money really quickly and I'll run ads. But this is really hard to do. Writing ad copy, setting up the targeting, figuring out how to follow up with those ads and how to warm the traffic. There's art to this. The problem is that you can actually go and set up an ad yourself if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, Facebook will take a lot of your money. All the dashboards will look like things are happening. People are clicking, but you have no revenue coming out, which is why I put this as number 5. A lot of people start with ads before they've figured out their ICP, before they figured out their strategic message, before they figured out any of these things, and they just jump right into ads and lose a lot of money. On top of that, they don't have the right partner to actually set up these ads and run these ads. There are people that run billions of dollars of ads. There are people that run hundreds of dollars of ads. You want to have the right people on your team that are running the ads for you versus you just kind of messing around on your own, losing all your money. So once you have these things in place, whichever one of these apply, these 2 should apply to any SaaS business. This is kind of optional. Then you can run ads because you have a lot of core ingredients and proof points on what's working and what's not that you can feed into these ads because it's been proven by the market, and then you can actually get the ROI on these ad dollars, which is why I always say number 5 should be ads. And then finally, I put over here number 6. If you can guess what number 6 is by now, number 6 is SEO, right? A lot of times I see founders start over here. They're like, we're gonna do content marketing, we're gonna blog. I'm like, cool, how are they gonna find you? It's like, well, we're gonna tweet about it. It's like, why would they click? Like, no one wants to click on a blog post anymore. They just don't, no one cares. So and SEO takes 18 months. The feedback speed is very slow. So you can do a lot of content, but you won't really know if it's hitting the market or not, which is why I put this dead last. By the time you get to the SEO, you will have proven out your messaging, your strategic narrative, your manifesto, your product market fit. A lot of things get proven out. Then you can invest in ads for the long run for the next 18 months, and you start to get the ROI on that. And that's how I lay out how to actually step-by-step go through the 6 ways you can generate demand for your go-to-market strategy for your SaaS business and your software product. And when you follow it in these steps, these stages, you're able to do it in a structured way. You're able to gather data. You're able to get quick feedback. You're able to do it with less skill. And little by little, you build up. Your messaging gets strengthened. Your manifesto gets strengthened. Your ICP gets strengthened. And then you can spend money on ads and SEO and platforms, and you can start to scale that way as well. So to recap, start with quick and easy, and then go all the way out in terms of slow feedback speed and hard. And little by little, you can start to scale your go-to-market machine. So that's what I had for you today. If you're building out your go-to-market strategy, then these are the 6 ways that you can actually generate demand. Don't try to do all of them all at once. Do it a step at a time. Now, if you are doing this, there are some things that you're going to have to figure out. The first thing you're going to have to figure out is what is your ICP. The second thing you're going to have to figure out is what is your messaging. You need a strategic message, you need a manifesto. The third thing you're going to have to figure out is what is the sequence, what is what I call the Broadway show that you're going to run across each of these different ways of getting demand. So if you're looking to figure out these 3 things and you want a step-by-step framework to follow, then I invite you to check out my SaaS Go-To-Market coaching program. Just go to tkkader.com/GTM or follow the link below. When you go to that link, you'll get all the details around the program. You'll have a little application link. You just fill out a couple of questions and then we'll get on a call. Once we're on the call, we'll figure out where you are, where you're looking to go, and if we can help, feel like we can help, we'll get you into the program. It's an incredible program. It's so cool. And it's so fun to work with all these founders to help build out their scalable go-to-market machines. And it helps you get the strategy right and then the execution right, and all these things come together. So go to tkkader.com/GTM and we'll get on a call and we'll figure out if we can help you. Lastly, if you got value from this video, please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. I drop an episode like this 3 times a week, so be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell icon where you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode. If you have a fellow co-founder, if you're part of a Slack group or a WhatsApp group of fellow SaaS founders, please share this video. It would mean the world to me and my team. And lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business, but when you are with us, yours is going to be unstoppable. I'm TK. I'll see you in the next episode.